All right, welcome to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is Living in Okeechobee, Florida. I am your host, Sean, and I am going to give you a full guide. This is an introductory guide about what it's like to live, work, and play in Okeechobee, Florida. We got your back if you're thinking about moving here, investing here, living here, relocating. And I'm an agent with eXp Realty. And let's get into this presentation that I've created for everybody here. Okay, so here we go. So this is my channel banner. As you can see, it's Living in Okeechobee, Florida. There's my contact information right here and my email. And let's keep going to the next slide here. And you can see a little bit about me. I'm a licensed buyer agent rep with eXp Realty. I help out second home buyers, vacation home buyers. If you're looking for investment properties, also can help with relocation assistance. And we can also help with any financing options or introduce you to our lenders. Just a little bit about me real quick. I moved to Florida over 10 years ago with my family, and we lived all around South Florida. So I lived in Miami, Miami Beach, West Palm Beach, Palm Beach Gardens, and we now reside here full-time in Okeechobee, Florida. Our goal with this content is to help buyers and sellers understand the area, find the place that is perfect fit for you, so that you have a stress-free and well-communicated and organized move or investment here in Okeechobee, Florida. And just a little about my relocation. I've moved over 10 times. I used to be in the hotel industry, live events. I've moved 10 times across the country. I lived outside of the country, but I've moved inside Florida 4 times. So I'm really familiar with moving from one location to another. So again, licensed agent, fully licensed. I want to help assist you with relocation, moving, investing. Okay, and again, you'll see my contact information right there. So let's start. Where is Okeechobee, Florida? Okay, so I put the map here for you. As you can see, Okeechobee, Florida is at the northern tip of Lake Okeechobee. So right here, this is Lake Okeechobee, which is a huge lake, by the way. It doesn't look that big on the map, but it's over 700 square miles. And to understand the geography where it's located, I did a little map quest here, but it's 2 to 2.5 hours from Miami-Dade County, 2 hours from Hialeah, which is located in Miami, a couple hours from Fort Lauderdale with traffic. With traffic, it's a little bit more, but without it, it's about 2 hours. It's only an hour to an hour and a half from West Palm Beach, depending on where you go in West Palm Beach. Fort Myers on the other side of the coast, it's only an hour and a half from Fort Myers. Orlando, just north of Okeechobee, is about an hour and a half. Tampa, over this side, is about 3 hours. Sarasota on the west coast over here is about 2.5 hours. So it's really well located geographically. It's basically in the dead center of everything. And just looking here more, I'll move my face over here a little bit. But looking again at some pictures, it's a very beautiful area. There's a lot of nature. There's a huge bike and walking path that goes around Lake Okeechobee that you can ride a bike or walk. There's many canals that connect to Lake Okeechobee. I'm going to show you that a little bit later in the video, that you can have a home literally on the canal front and you could fish right in your backyard. You can actually have a boat and a boat dock, and you can take a boat right from your backyard through these canals to the levee that will open you up to Lake Okeechobee. And we'll talk about that a little bit more here. All right, let's go to the next slide. There's some more pictures right here, as you can see, of Lake Okeechobee from the air. There's a levee. There's a beautiful fishing pier down here right in Okeechobee County that people fish from 24 hours a day, day and night. They do fireworks. They have events down there, and you can see this path right over here. So this path right here is that bike path that goes around Lake Okeechobee. It's a beautiful bike and walking path that pretty much goes around the entire lake. All right. So again, showing you more geography so you exactly understand where Okeechobee is located. Even myself, when I lived in Miami and in West Palm Beach, I never really even heard of Okeechobee. I knew there was a lake there, but I didn't know anything about the town. I had to dig and dig for information. There's very little online as far as videos and pictures. You might see like a video of someone fishing here or a quick drive-by video, someone here staying for the day, but I'm going to give you an in-depth resource about Okeechobee, all about the neighborhoods, the subdivisions, the development, what's going on in the real estate market. And that's my goal here, to help you and get that information out so you can see if this place is the right fit for you. So again, there's the couple of the major cities. What I really liked about it, it's just very conveniently located to all these major cities. And on top of that, West Palm Beach has an airport, Fort Lauderdale has an airport, and Miami has an airport, and Orlando airport. So you can get to 4 or 5 airports just within an hour and a half as well. So you have very many different options if you're traveling in and out of Okeechobee, Florida. Okay. One of the closest cities to Okeechobee is Port St. Lucie, but also, I'm going to show you right here, this is West Palm Beach. This is one of the bigger cities, located only about 40 to 50 minutes from Okeechobee. And this arrow right here to show you, this actually highlights what's called the Beeline Highway. This takes you directly from Okeechobee to West Palm Beach, and you can take it to get to many other coastal cities in the area. But it's pretty much a 2-lane road. Some parts it's 1 lane each way, other parts it opens up. And there's literally maybe a handful of traffic lights once you get out of Okeechobee as you're heading to West Palm Beach. So it's a very easy drive. It's a straight shot, as you can see, going right there to Okeechobee. And if I move this arrow, if I move that arrow down a little bit, you could see basically right here, you can see that Beeline Highway. So let's go back to that. So I moved it down a little so you can actually see the Beeline Highway right here. So my point of that's very convenient, very easy to get to and get out of if you need to go to any of these major cities. All right, next, let's talk a little bit about the fun stuff to do here in Okeechobee. There's a lot of activities and recreation, okay? So there's fishing, there's boating, there's hunting, there's camping, there's off-roading, 4x4s, ATVs, golf carts. It's golf cart friendly in this area, which is really fun. Most of the neighborhoods and subdivisions here, you can have an electric or gas-powered golf cart, and you can drive it on the street. It's street legal. You can't go on the major roads, of course, but you can get all around your neighborhood, get around to all the good fishing and hiking and hunting spots in your golf cart. My neighbors that live across the street next to me, I see them every day going out in their golf cart with the fishing pole in the back. They've got their dog on the passenger seat. So it's really cool in that aspect. There's not a lot of restrictions out here, which is amazing. And also there's gardening and farming. Most of these homes that have the canals and waterfront out back, you can use that resource for watering your garden, for a sprinkler system. There's also tons of agriculture. If you're big into pets and animals, you can find acreage that's rated for agriculture that allows you to have horses, cows, chickens, goats, sheep. I mean, anything you want is possible out here in Okeechobee. The shopping options are very convenient here. This is not in the middle of nowhere. There is a big downtown, and as you can see, as I've labeled here, you've got Publix, Walmart, Home Depot, Tractor Supply. There's your pharmacy, CVS and Walgreens. There's a brand new Wawa which opened here, which is amazing. And there's so many other things here that I didn't list, but there's Marshall's, there's Winn-Dixie, there's Pet Supermarket. There are multiple Dollar Trees, multiple Dollar Generals. So you have everything you want right here in Okeechobee. You don't need to leave. Only thing I do see people sometimes going for, if it's something like major medical, you want to go to a bigger hospital, there's Port St. Lucie, which is only 40 to 50 minutes to the east. And I'll show you that in a little later in a couple slides. And when we go over a map video, I'm going to show you everything that surrounds Okeechobee and all the major highways. But, as you can see right here, plenty of shopping, plenty of things to do. You could live here, stay here full time, never have to leave, and get everything you absolutely need. So Okeechobee, Florida is divided, so as far as kind of like real estate and the map, it's divided into 4 quadrants, okay? So the downtown Okeechobee, the dead center, is right at this cross point, and there's a northwest quadrant. So that area, excuse me, has, let me go back there. That area has large acreage, farming land, agriculture. There's plots of land there that you can do custom-built homes if you want. So that's a nice part of the area that's very rural. There's a southwest part over in When you come out of the downtown, there's more of like the older luxury, very nice colonial style homes. There's a ton of canal homes. What I mean by that is in Florida, a lot of homes are either close to the coast or near a lake. The overflow of the lake are in canals that run all between and behind the houses. And there's a ton of those here. And I'm going to show you that as we drill deeper into the map video. The northeast quadrant, okay, there's a big part out there that's the prairie. The prairie is like a natural reserve. There's camping out there, there's hunting, and you can actually go out there. People go out there during the evening. On a clear night, you can see the entire galaxy. There's no light pollution here, and that makes beautiful nighttime skies. I mean, even from my front yard and backyard, I can see the moon and all the stars perfectly. It's amazing. And in the southeast quadrant, kind of similar to the southwest, there's a lot of the lakefront homes, more canal homes, easy access to get to the lake, to go fishing and just go boating. And there's a ton of RV parks and mobile homes spread all throughout Okeechobee, but a good concentration in the southeast and southwest part. You're going to find a lot of mobile homes, a lot of parks that have mobile homes where they charge lot rent, a lot of RV parks. And a lot of people here living full-time and part-time during the winter. Here's a nice picture, a few pictures actually of the actual downtown Okeechobee area itself. There's a huge memorial, Veterans Day memorial park down here with like tanks and helicopters from Vietnam and the wars. It's really nice to go visit on, you know, a nice weekend on a Sunday. They do activities and parades, as you can see from this picture over here on the top right. There's a lot of fun parades and festivals and activities throughout the year. And this is just a shot of the downtown. You're going to see a lot of brick and mortar businesses. You're going to see pizzerias, antique shops, pawn shops, clothing stores, banks, real estate offices, pharmacies. And it basically has everything. The downtown's really nice because it's preserved. It has that kind of postcard feel and look to it where you can just park and walk out and eat something in one of the really nice small business owned restaurants. There are some chains up there too, like a Jersey Mike's, but there's everything here, and it's really quaint. It has that beautiful kind of old Florida charm to it. Okay. So the canal homes that I mentioned earlier, these are some pictures of the canal homes that you can see here. So basically in Okeechobee, as you get closer to the lake, where the lake overflows into these canals, you're going to see homes like this in the top right. I mean, this is a 2-level home with an amazing boat dock and a lift. You can have this right in your backyard, your own boat dock, your own boat lift, your own fish cleaning station. I mean, you can literally fish right from this canal if you want, or you can take these canals directly to the levee. Sometimes you can get to the lake within 20 minutes, sometimes an hour. So talk to us if you're thinking about a canal style home, or if you want to have a second home with that feature. We can locate the best spot for you that fits for your lifestyle. Okay, so I'm just showing you a few pictures here. And another thing I want to mention, because it's more of it was developed earlier in Florida, there are many areas with zero HOA fees. So you have a lot more freedom, a lot more liberty, less restrictions. And as you can see just from these pictures, like the bottom left, you're going to see a CBS style home, a mobile home, a double wide, a 2-level stick built home. So it's really exciting as I drive around Okeechobee because there's so many different style homes. There's not a ton of these master plan communities where every home kind of looks identical and they're just painted a different color. You know what I mean? You're allowed to do a lot more. Give you an example, like one of my neighbors, they have a single wide mobile home on about a 1/4 acre land, and 10 feet from his home, he built a 3-bay steel building garage workshop where he works and repairs airboats. The boats that have the giant fan on the back that go to Lake Okeechobee, right? If those of you who didn't know. But he actually repairs the airboats, and the steel building is bigger than his home. And that's because there's not a ton of restrictions. You know, you do have to pull permits. You have to talk to a professional contractor for that and make sure you speak to the property appraiser at the county. But you can pull permits for the home, a she shed, he shed, a separate detached office, a detached building, a steel building, a garage, a workshop, a container home. I mean, you can do anything you want out here. You can see in this bottom picture, there's a huge carport that's really an RV port. So a lot of people have the home right here on the bottom left where my hours, you can see they have their home. Then they build a huge covered carport to park their RV so that it doesn't get any water damage during the inclement weather down here. So it's really amazing, really fun to go out. I go out on a daily, excuse me, I go out on a daily basis to kind of look at all the different homes and get different ideas of like what people are building and how they're utilizing their property. So a lot of freedom and a lot of flexibility when it comes to living down here in Okeechobee, Florida. Again, like I mentioned, it's very golf cart friendly. You can buy your home, get an electric powered golf cart, and if you're, work from home or you're retired, you stay home majority of the week, you can just take your cart and drive up to like a Dollar General or to the local store or local gas station and get your supplies or your goods and never have to even use your vehicle. So it's really fun in that aspect. These are some pictures of the land out here in Okeechobee. Like I mentioned, a lot of agriculture, a lot of farmland, a lot of rural land, also a lot of residential and commercial, but you can basically have a horse, a cow, many horses, many cows, chickens, farm animals. And like I was mentioning, as you can see here, here's a nice home in the top right, and then they have their own kind of steel metal barn in the back for their animals. You can also buy plots of land. In many of these quadrants, they have, 1 acre, acre and a quarter, 5 acres, 10 acres, 20-acre parcels. You can buy the land, you can develop the land, drill a well, have a septic system, put in electrical, put in your irrigation, and have your own custom-built home the way you want to design your home. All the freedom you want out here. And then here's the airboats I mentioned again. Like my neighbor has a repair shop. You can take an airboat out for the day, for the weekend. One of my neighbors actually hosts guided tours, full day, half day. Sometimes he'll have a dozen people over there that he takes out on the weekends to do fishing, hunting, exploration, just kind of go around the lake. And again, this lake is gigantic. It's 700 plus square miles. So if you're at one side of the lake, you can't see to the other side. You can barely see. And if you're out in the middle of the lake, sometimes you can't even see the coast. So this lake is gigantic. It's one of the largest freshwater lakes in the country. Pontoon boats, these are very popular as well. A lot of people have pontoon boats. You can go into very shallow canals, very shallow areas, and you can bring your friends and family and enjoy the day and take it right from the canal right to the lake and just spend all day out there on the lake. As you can see, there's people fishing, people just enjoying the sun and enjoying the day. So that's a great option if you live out here in Okeechobee, Florida. Off-roading. There's thousands of acres out here to do all kinds of off-roading. You can have a 4x4, dirt bike, a go-kart, a mud buggy, as you can see here. When I first moved here, I have a canal in the back of my house, in my backyard, and I could see across the canal. I could see young kids, like teenagers, just dirt biking, having a great day. There's paths that are cut out for using off-road vehicles. I see people all day towing, a dual pair of 4x4s behind their truck or one of these mud buggies you can see. There's also something to the east part. There's a big competition like dirt bike off-road area where you can go out, and they have a lot of weekend competitions and events that you can go see. There's dirt bike paths. There's all kinds of things to do out here when you're off-roading all around the lake, and that's a really fun thing to do for you, your friends, and family. The low price points is something I really want to talk about when it comes to real estate, okay? Something I want you to see right here. This is a house that's currently for sale, right? It's a two bed, one bath, a little over 1,000 square feet, CBS style home. No HOA, very low property tax. It's got a nice parcel of land, right? This style home right now that I'm seeing, the problem that's going on in like South Florida, a lot of the coastal cities around Florida, it's getting so expensive with housing prices, with property taxes, and HOA. The HOAs, like where I used to live, when I first got there, my HOA was $900 a month. When we tried to move, like we really wanted to move really bad because that HOA was really biting into us, it was $1,400 a month, and from what I understand right now, it's well over $1,600 a month. You're going to see HOAs for hundreds, even thousands of dollars in the coastal cities and in South Florida and a lot of these planned communities. And that's tough for a lot of people that might be on a fixed income or they're here to retire. Like, you don't want to worry if your HOA is going to double. You could get hit with an assessment by your HOA and your HOA doubles within a year. I know some people that are paying more for their HOA, property taxes, and insurance than they are paying for their mortgage, or they have the house paid off, and all those costs combined are more than their mortgage as well. So if you move out here, you've got lower property taxes. You know, I'm not an appraiser. You want to seek the appraiser's value first to make sure, you know, the property taxes are in line. But I can give you an example. Where I live, I'm literally over about $1,100, $1,100 a year in property tax. And a lot of my neighbors also talk about their low property tax. So that's amazing to think about. You can have basically a fixed cost that you don't have to worry about 5-10 years from now. So again, this is a 2-bed, 1-bath, 1,064 square feet. It's all fully renovated inside. It has a garage as well over here that you could convert into like another bedroom or an office or a storage area. Here's some more pictures of the home. What I want to show you again, this is a canal front home. They have a screen room right off the back of the house, which is really nice for an additional space. And there's a spot to do a boat lift and a dock. And this connects, this canal that you see over here, this connects right to Lake Okeechobee. You can literally build a boat lift here, a small boathouse, a dock, and you can have a pontoon or a fishing boat, and you can take that right to the lake. Or you can just stay home for the day and fish right from your backyard, which is amazing. And from the kitchen and from areas, it has a view of that canal, which looks really nice. As you can see, it's got some very nice large bedroom, an island space for the counter, island counter out here for the kitchen. All of this is done over new floors, new walls, new paint, new appliances. Again, there's some more pictures of it just so you can see everything. See that view of the canal over here. And you can see the land you get. So I'm going to say a lot of these homes that are similar in, like, let's say West Palm Beach County, St. Lucie County, Miami County, some of these I've seen for double the price, the 400 to 500,000, and you're also getting half the parcel size. Your land is much smaller. On the MLS listings, a lot of these homes that are closer to the coast and in those heavy populated areas, they measure the land by square footage, like 5,000 square feet, 10,000 square feet, because it's not even that big. You know what I mean? So out here, you basically can get similar home, twice the size of the land for almost half the price or significantly lower. I'm going to show you that a little bit later here in the presentation. So here's some price comps that you can see. You know, a lot of these are just single family or mobile homes on land, but as you can see, the comps right here, these are currently listed and active, and I'm seeing $150,000 to $174,000. Now that price point still in Florida with the Florida weather, within only an hour to an hour and a half to some of the best beaches in the world and the major South Florida cities. That is a great price, in my opinion, for an investment home, a second home, a vacation home, or if you just want to relocate and you still want to live in Florida and you don't want to move somewhere like Texas or Arizona. You still want that Florida lifestyle where you're near Lake Okeechobee and you can also get to the best beaches on the East Coast. Okay, so these are all active and these are currently listed. It'll be really hard for you to find these price points outside of Okeechobee as you get towards South Florida, towards Miami-Dade County. The second page with a little bit higher price points. As you can see, these go from like 180 to 215. Again, there's many of these for sale right now. And please talk to us too if you need any help with speaking to a lender or financing options. Go to the next page here. Again, I even went through the $200,000 price point, and now we're going up to 219 to 239. And as you can see, plenty of them. You can see just from these small thumbnails the size of the land that you get. So you can buy these and you can upgrade them, or you can redevelop. You can buy the land with the home. You could clear the mobile home and put an actual large single family home, multi-family home, duplex. You know, again, you want to look at what the location is zoned for and talk to us before you do that. We can help you find the right property depending on what type of home you're looking for. If you're looking for an investment, we can make sure it has the right zoning so that it can be a multifamily or that you can rent it out. And a lot of folks I see around here, they're buying up these properties, they're turning them into short-term and long-term rentals. A lot of people want to come out to Lake Okeechobee and live short-term for the winter and have the accessibility to the lake and to go fishing and drive a golf cart and, drive a pontoon boat or an airboat and just have that beautiful Florida weather, okay? I did put one page of the analytics just for anyone that really wants to analyze, but again, I'm going to show you right over here, right? The median list price, okay, in Okeechobee, $299,000. Look at the Florida median list price right now as of September 2024, $430,000, and I haven't even seen, prices that low, to be honest. They're much higher in some of these counties, but still, even looking at this from the MLS, from my data, Okeechobee homes are $100,000 to $130,000 less than the Florida average and less than the United States average right now. So again, if you want to live in a great climate, great weather, lots of things to do, and be very close to the beaches, this is a good option to consider, and you can reach out to me and we can help you find that. All right, so now I'm going to go to my map video, and then one last thing I wanted to mention. It is Florida. There are alligators. There are gators in these lakes, but if you don't bother them, they don't bother you. You rarely hear of a gator attack or anything out here. Don't feed the gators. Don't antagonize them. I've seen, one or two in the entire 2 years I lived here swim past my canal, and they just kept on going, and they were way far out in the canal. They weren't crawling up on my land or anything like that. So don't be afraid of that. That's just kind of that's what comes with having that Florida lifestyle, whether you're here or in any of the coastal cities, even down near Miami. There's been plenty of gator sightings, you know what I mean? So let's go into my map video now here, guys. I'll show you everything. All right, so here's the map of Okeechobee, right? Actually, the map of Florida, excuse me, but let's zoom out a little bit. So here's the whole state of Florida. You got the South Florida line right around, here, the frost level where you don't have any frost. As we zoom in, I'm going to go right to Okeechobee so you can see the proximity of all the other cities, okay? So again, this is downtown Okeechobee, this center right here, okay? And you can see there's plenty of development, plenty of things to do, plenty of businesses, okay? As I zoom out a little bit, what most people living here do if they want to go out for the day and get to a bigger city where there's a lot more activities, a lot more businesses, they head over on this highway, okay, right here, which is the 710. It's a nice paved 2-lane highway. Again, there's maybe a handful of traffic lights as you get out of Okeechobee and you head through here. And this will take you right into the Fort Pierce area. You can see Fort Pierce over here. And as you get here, there's plenty. There's the beaches. There's, Sam's Club, tons of restaurants, tons of chains, tons of medical facilities all up and down here, doctors, whatever you need to get to. But this road, this highway, the 710 connects you right to Fort Pierce. And Fort Pierce, right, is right above Port St. Lucie, and then there's Stewart. And all these three areas kind of blend together. I'll be driving out here, and sometimes I'm in Fort Pierce, and then I didn't even realize I got to Port St. Lucie. It looks really similar, like a South Floridian city. There's all paved roads. There's US 1 that goes north and south all through these counties, and there's A1A out here that's the beautiful beach area. So like out here, there's $1 million+ mansions. There's beautiful beaches out here in Huntington Beach. So a lot of people take this highway right here, the 710, as they want to go into Fort Pierce and come back to Okeechobee. And I like that road as well. There's also another main road. This is the Beeline Highway that I told you about earlier. So right here, this diagonal road is the Beeline Highway. And this takes you to the other main road that cuts straight across. Now this is a little more rural. It's one lane each direction. And as you leave Okeechobee, right, you come down the Beeline Highway and you go onto this road. As you get in here, it's really beautiful as you drive during the day. There's trees that actually cover up and above the road, so you're kind of going through all these covered trees. It's really nice. And this is going to take you kind of directly to Palm City and Port St. Lucie as well. So you have those two options when you're going from Okeechobee to get to the East Coast, time-wise, you're looking at 45 to 50 minutes. If you're leaving the endpoint of Okeechobee and you want to get up to Fort Pierce, it's literally only 45, 50 minutes. And similar, if you're going down this way and you're getting in, you're looking at 50 minutes to an hour to get to the beaches, to get to a bunch of more activities, to get to all the facilities you might need. So it's very convenient, these two roads that are paved here. And again, these are like very few traffic lights, and you can go straight there. And like even people that drive kind of crazy, they'll pass you on these roads, go in the opposite direction and pass you. Sometimes passing out here is just okay. Like no one frowns on it. I don't do that, but you know, there's two options there to get there. Okay. Now, if you want to go further south, right, you can go, one sec there, sorry. You can go south on this Beeline Highway. Okay, so let's zoom in. You can go down this Beeline Highway from Okeechobee, and this takes you right into West Palm Beach. So that'll take you directly into West Palm Beach, and from there you can connect right to the 95 interstate and go all the way down to Miami or go all the way up to Jacksonville towards St. Augustine. So it's very easy to get in and out of Okeechobee. It's not a problem at all. I fly in and out a lot out of West Palm Beach Airport. I've flown out of Lauderdale before, and Miami too, and I've flown out of Orlando. So I had like 4 options when I was traveling a lot for work several years ago to go in and out of many major airports. But as you can see, not a problem. We're talking 45, 50 minutes to get to the beaches, to get to Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, Stewart, West Palm Beach. And then again, if you want to go down all the way to Miami, Miami's right there. That's a couple hours. There's some other really nice rural roads that go to the West Coast as well. So if you zoom in here, right, again, here's downtown Okeechobee. You can take this road to the west, and you can go all the way. You can go all the way towards Fort Myers out here. This highway wraps around the lake right here. There's a major casino out here in Okeechobee, the Seminole Casino's right out in the Seminole Reservation. You can take this road, and you can see I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and this will take you over to Fort Myers, which is right here, and that's about an hour and a half as well. So you've got the option to go to either the east or west coast or deep South Florida to Miami. So it's very conveniently located, and like just to show you the massive size of this lake is enormous, and it's not that deep. It's only about 9 feet in total, so it's very safe, excluding you're not swimming in it with the alligators, but it's safe to go boating. And something that's really amazing out here, there's the Okeechobee Waterway. So the canal, if you kind of see right here, you can take a boat and go through this canal by Cape Coral and Fort Myers, and you can take it all the way through Lake Okeechobee. You can come out on the other side of Lake Okeechobee, and you can end on the east coast up by Hobe Sound and Fort Pierce area right here, and be literally at the Atlantic Ocean. So you could be on the Gulf of Mexico on one day, and a couple days later you can come out on the east coast. And there's a lot of stops down here, a lot of marinas that you can stop at for a hotel, or if you just want to stay the night, or a restaurant. So there's a lot to do. It's very conveniently located. I think I've said that a bunch of times already, but it's not in the middle of nowhere. If you go further out, like you get towards Sebring and these towns out here, now you're getting really far to get to the East Coast. Like now you're talking 2 or 3 hours. Like Sebring out here, there's a huge racetrack there. I've worked there a couple times. They do Trans Am, circuit racing, Daytona, a lot of things go on out there, NASCAR. But now you're out here, now you're getting more close to Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater on the East Coast. Like it's much tougher. It's much longer to get there. And like if you need to fly out of the Sebring, you live in Sebring, you need to fly out. Now you're talking couple hours, 3 or 4 hours round trip to get to an airport and back. So again, this Okeechobee, in my opinion, it's still rural, but not so rural that it's in the middle of nowhere and you have to drive hours upon hours to get to any civilization. There's plenty of civilization here, plenty of development. And now I'm going to dive a little bit into the neighborhood, just kind of give you an overview, but stay tuned for our next videos, because I'm going to really get out on the streets and we're going to show you point of view video. I'm going to get on camera and I'm going to show you the neighborhoods, some of the price points, some of the housing. We're going to do drone videos. You're going to see some of the aerial footage. But let's talk about kind of near where I live a little bit, which is the southwest quadrant. So if you look over here, right, okay, you see all these homes, see this darker color? These are all the canals. So if you zoom in, right, I'm going to show you a perfect example of like how amazing it is to live in a non-HOA area with less restrictions. But this street, for example, in this subdivision, here's a big home. Here's a big home. Here's a mobile home. Here's another large home with a pool. Here's a couple more larger homes. Then there's a mobile home next to it. There's every pick of the litter that you want. If you want to develop a 3 to 5 bedroom home, you can. If you just want a simple single wide or double wide mobile home, you can. If you want to build a carport and a shed and a steel building for your own garage or workshop, you can. And then another thing I want to show you, see all these little rectangular white squares? These are docks. These are boathouses. These are slips. So these are where people literally come out from their backyard, hop into a boat, and they take these canals, okay? They drive down these canals, and they go right down here to the levee, which opens up and takes you right to Lake Okeechobee, which you can see is enormous. I mean, I'm zoomed in, and it covers the entire screen, right? So there's a ton of homes like this in these subdivisions that are for sale. There's parcels, just land for sale that you can develop. So reach out to us. We can find the best place for you. There's a lot of them you don't want to move to. You got to be careful for. There's flood zones. There's areas that there are restrictions, but we know all the best areas where there's no restrictions, where it's great lake access, and where you're going to have plenty of things to do living here in Okeechobee, Florida. So I'll give you one more shot of the downtown again. This downtown is really busy. There's plenty of stuff here. There's Walgreens, like I mentioned, CVS. There's brand new Wawa. There's a whole beautiful memorial park over here that you can see all kinds of things like the Veterans Memorial Park with the tanks, and that's a helicopter right there. That's a tank. This is a beautiful area. You can go walk and enjoy the day, and they do a lot of festivals, activities, flea markets, vendor fairs up here in this area. There's big parades that come down the street. There's parades that are related to like the championship fishing tournaments they have going on. And even if you're just in this area and you want to go up to like, Orlando, Disney World, you take this road right here. You can take this nice rural road. This is a scenic road right here. And there's huge farmlands and acreage and cows. So it's a very beautiful area. I wanted to show you a little bit about Okeechobee. I'm going to get more into detail on my future videos, okay? And I'm going to really dive in depth so you can see and learn so much more about Okeechobee. And before I go, I just wanted to show you my contact info once again. I'm Sean with eXp Realty, licensed buyer rep. I can also do listings and sell, but please call me 561-331-5883 or give me a text. And stay tuned because we got your back when you're thinking about moving, working, relocating, living, and investing in Okeechobee, Florida. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for watching my video. Stay tuned.